It is with great pleasure that we will be presenting this year's Navy League Arleigh Burke Award to Mr. Ed Byers.
You know, I stand up here today not for what I've done, but what I've been entrusted to carry forward, and it's humbling. If I've learned anything worth sharing, it's this. Be the one who chooses to carry more. Carry the burdens others fear. Carry the legacy of warriors past. Carry the light when the path is dark. Carry the standard when the world forgets what it means. Because leadership, the kind Arleigh Burke believed in, isn't about being in charge. It's about taking care of those in your charge.
We're at a different time in our nation's history where shipbuilding has taken on a prominence and importance that we have not seen in nearly a century.
The Simpson was the only ship during my 7 years in Naples that deployed for 6 months, came back through the Mediterranean, and had 0 CAS reps. It was a magnificent ship. It was 30 years old with a magnificent crew. That's what the frigate brings to the table. You don't want to send a destroyer every time you have to do something like that because they're busy with all sorts of multi-mission things and missile defense, as we saw with Israel a couple of times in the last 6 months.
Yes, we're struggling, but we see pockets of opportunity. We see things that are really rallying to the cause. Shipbuilders are built to serve. We are in this mission with our warfighters, and we're honored to be there.
We need to learn from our allies.
Yeah.
Our allies are producing a ton of different types of ships every single year.
I was on a panel last summer and the motto was logistics wins wars. And it's true, logistics wins wars. If we cannot sustain the fleet, we're not going to win.
We want to give back to the service members out here as a university because we help service members with their degrees and their goals. So we said, hey, this might help them out a little bit, and because we know that transition from the military to civilian world, it's a tough transition. So we are adamant to help.
It's always a challenge. I am an activated reservist, so I've had the pleasure of transitioning from active duty to the civilian workforce a few times, and it is always a challenge. So this is the kind of event that, from a military perspective, I always appreciate.
I'm currently planning on transitioning out of the military. I'm going to be starting my terminal leave at the end of May, and I am just looking for any great jobs out there in the DMV area. Some of the difficulties when transitioning is definitely trying to figure out the civilian equivalent to a lot of military type positions and lingo, and when it comes to the different positions.
And we have the rest of our lives once we leave here to make sure that all of us can do what needs to be done, and that is return the might of the Navy and our maritime force to be able to defend the freedom of the seas.